Boxing is back and it hadn't even gone anywhere. We're about to experience two of the most anticipated fights as we did when these two fights first took place. First, Bivol versus Beterbiev 2. Can you believe it? If this was a year and a half, 2 years ago, it would have taken 5 years just to make the first one. But right now, we're already about to get the second one. Can you believe it? Like, this is the real stuff. These kind of matches just don't happen like that, especially when you got two guys at the peak and the most scariest that they are in their careers right now. And we have them once again getting right back into the ring before the ink dried. And I'm going to basically cue this conversation up for the Bivol fight. But lo and behold, I'm going to show you guys this stacked card. It's like the super pay-per-view event of the decade, all on one card. Any one of these fights could have been the main event. The fact that they got 6 main events on one card is crazy. And lo and behold, now we have the Tyson Fury versus Usyk 2. 7 months ago, we were placed in a position where we got to see some of the best boxing that you could ever find from heavyweights who both could box. One was a boxer mover and one was a methodical Marvin Hagler-esque kind of fighter coming up through weight classes, just blazing guys, knocking out guys who were 20, 30, 40 pounds his senior, and even putting Tyson Fury almost on the canvas, but did get a knockdown. And as I'm looking at this, as someone who's 4 decades in the sport and had the privilege to be mentored and coached by the greatest minds, Hall of Fame minds in boxing, to see this kind of thing play out is just absolutely unbelievable, because these are the kind of fights that I would actually have on DVD and VHS tapes that I would record when I would come home from school or skip school and record all day. These are the Donald Curry versus, James Lights Out Tony, all of these crazy matchups that we haven't just had the opportunity or the privilege to have when these guys are at the pinnacle. So welcome aboard. Special shouts out to you. Let me know where you're watching from. All we're going to do is get directly into, I'm going to show you guys this fight card. And this fight card is stacked. So right here, the first on the menu is going to be the rematch with Dubois. And I mean, not the rematch, but Dubois versus Parker. I mean, Parker just beat Deontay Wilder. He just beat everybody that they put in front of him. Like, this dude is on he's on a tear. You're talking about a very
I've only got a few words to say,
I would have never seen this coming. And the fact that they got it done in Riyadh season, when you weren't even thinking about this match, no one's even brought this match up. I don't know over here in the US, no one's brought it up over here, but I love this part. Directly after the fight with Anthony Joshua, here he goes. He goes right into this spiel.
Are you not entertained?
Oh my gosh. I absolutely love the scene from Gladiator, because this was Gladiator shit.
Are you not entertained?
Boom. Yo, like I said, I love boxing. I got the opportunity to work in boxing for 4 decades, and I have the opportunity to now lead others down that pathway. Coaches, fighters, institutes, gyms, everything is just beautiful. Helping companies like the WBC, helping companies like the UFC, helping companies like ESPN. Just the fact that I'm able to do that, it just says, wow, your life will come full circle if you stay committed and stick to the process. Now, the next fight that's on this card, after the Dubois versus Parker fight, on the undercard, you're going to have Shakur Stephenson versus Schofield. And this kid is the real deal. He's strong. He can punch. He's fast. Shakur has his hands filled. And now that he's dealing with matchroom boxing for whatever their contract is. I think it's kind of fight by fight deal. Someone elaborate and let me know in the comment boxes if you really know the details of this fight. But the reality is this is a fight. And Shakur gets to display his skill set, because when you are a pure boxer like Shakur Stevens and you're learning how to set your feet down, and this is one of the reasons that I share with you all that you got to learn that there's more to boxing than just throwing punches. There's a method that you got to learn to throw, and it takes years to develop. Hence is why I have a developmental program. I built it because I knew how long it took for me to figure out how to take the guys who were transitioning to the pros, how to hit like pros. And it's just an entirely different settled down state of your body and the manner that you're able to sit into your punches. And the family, the Archie Moore family, special shouts out if you guys are watching, gave me even further insight, because when you got people like the old mongoose in your corner, putting that stuff in you, and you can now see it, you're going to need experience. So make sure you got very experienced people around you. I know you're trying to learn, and I know you're a big fan, but the fact of the matter is people that really know this shit, when you hear it from them, it doesn't always sound right, because I gave my mentors and coaches a hell of a time being so stubborn, thinking I know everything. But man, will you learn the hard way? So that fight is going to be another lights out fight. Ortiz Jr. Versus Matrimov, another blockbuster hit fight. And it's just, I don't know which one of these fights are you guys looking. We got Zhang versus Cabal. I don't know the name good. And Callum Smith is going to be fighting as well. He's going to be fighting. I know I'm going to hate myself for not getting this right, but you guys get the idea. That's one card. That's one fight card. That could be the month of February. So all of those fights are going to be on that card. And what I'm going to do right now is take you back to the post fight of the Bivol Beterbiev 1, and you just guys enjoy it. I'm going to be gone. I just wanted to set this up and cue it up for you guys to enjoy this fight, and just let me know what you guys think of it. And once again, this is all about bringing you guys to the place where we are in boxing right now. So all of you who are fans, make sure that you continue to watch, because we're going to cover this thing down to the button. But we're going to make sure that you understand the effervescence of the actual strategies that go on in a real professional fight camp. And so we're going to take you behind the scenes, and I'm going to tell you what I saw in Tyson Fury's eyes as his fight approaches in the next week or so. And then we're going to go deeper in the training camp. And so that's what I look forward to. So here's the post fight with the Bivol Beterbiev 1. Fights for fight entertainment. You got to remember, this is not the Olympics. This is not use the whole ring all the time. Who's the better fighter? This is prize fighting. So when you think about why is it that decisions go this way, is because you saw one guy trying to fight the whole night, also landing punches, bringing a methodical mindset, and the other guy trying not to fight and picking his opportunities.
I felt some moments where I could do it, but I was a little bit careful.
Cautious.
I don't know this word.
Careful, I guess.
Careful, yeah.
That's great. But when you pick those opportunities, they have to be dazzling. Go back and watch Marvelous Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard hadn't been in the ring in 5 years at that level. Came back and fought the greatest fighter in that era, toe to toe. He moved, but when he stopped and fought, he stopped and threw punches like nobody's business. That's the difference between A-level fighters and A-plus level fighters. Now, did I pick Beterbiev to win? Absolutely. But throughout that first quarter of the fight, what you saw was Beterbiev having to chase him down, catching his punches on the glove, and Bivol throwing that jab, flossing jab, beautiful jab, But when you finish off with that jab and you got to throw that combination, you got to go back to people who used to throw the combination. Go back to Sugar Ray Robinson. Go back to Jake LaMotta. You got to learn how to let punches go. When you say let the punches go, it has to be in a rhythmic manner that the crowd and the onlookers are looking like, oh, wow, you got to dazzle people because we pay money. This is not about sparring at the gym and boxing in national tournaments. This is prize fighting where you bite down on your mouthpiece, claw your toenails to the canvas, stick your heat into your feet, press down, and go mano y mano. Stay defensively responsible because you want to be able to talk to your grandkids. But you got to realize that those people didn't pay to see you move all night. Anybody can run from the smoke. That's what we don't want. And I'm going to take a question and I'm going to go. The Saudi wants to see entertainment more than not. Absolutely. Carter, you're spot on. And they put on a tremendous event. This event, you had Sierra performing. You had Busta Rhymes performing. You had people putting it on. Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, straight out of the ATL, performed. They spending the kinds of money that they are not making back on these pay-per-views because they're charging $19.99 only for the undercard. Last week with Anthony Joshua, they only charge $15. What they're trying to do is stop people from stealing the streams and giving real boxing fans the opportunity to see big-time boxing. But what you're seeing is these fights. This is the thing. Big-time boxing requires understanding how to actually knuckle up and go into this thing with some kind of urgency to win the fight. And when they putting on this kind of event, these kind of events don't cost cheddar. They cost real money. You can't exchange rice for these kind of fights. So I'm sorry. Once again, just like Hagler Hearns, just like Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. See, Hagler won the fight. Sugar Ray won the event. Bivol could have won rounds, but Beterbiev won the event because when he punched with malice. Second quarter of the fight, you saw Beterbiev turn it up, start letting his hands go more. Obviously, a regular guy who's not really good at cutting off the ring wouldn't have had merely the success that he did. But those Saudis, they want to see you throw that smoke. And he threw that smoke. So the third quarter of the fight, the championship rounds, you saw Bivol trying to throw, but you can't move all night and still have legs to sit down on your punches. And so today, earlier, we talked about learning to sit down on your punches. And if you don't know how to sit down on your punches, and I'm going to answer one of the questions. I see a couple of people up here chiming in. Special shouts out to you. Bivol won. Beterbiev was explosive, not to win. Okay, that's your opinion. I felt like the judges, if they typically would have just said, hey, let's give it to him on points. But actually, Beterbiev was on record threw more punches, which it didn't look like that to me. But it's about what the punches that you threw, they were effective. One of the mistakes that Beterbiev made that could have ended the fight is he threw little to no body shots. And all night, all I kept seeing is body shots. He could have threw right hooks. He could have threw jabs. He could have used the ring in a way where he was just hitting them to the body, and he wouldn't have had the legs. If you're ever working against a fighter who's moving a lot, just tap him with them hooks to the outside and stab him with the straight jab under. But make sure you cover that hand and go down to that bread basket. He's going to slow down after that because so much oxygen leaves out of his lungs, goes into his belly to try to recover the punches landing. And so it was a good fight. The fight was good. It wasn't a great super fight feel when the fight started. You just know that a guy like Beterbiev could actually end it at any time. And so you're tuning in for that because up until the last bell, it felt like that still. But after the 10th round, you did know that Bivol has the courage and the heart, but he just don't bite down on his mouthpiece. And going into this next generation of boxing, you have to fight. You have to know how to fight, get in there and bite down on your mouthpiece, because more judges are going to be swayed to give it to the guy who's trying to make the fight happen. I see you guys up here, you chiming in. What's going on, Money? What's going on, Gio? Chicken boxing days are over. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. The bottom line is those championship rounds important. Yes, they were. They were. The championship rounds are important, but you know, moving is fine. You gotta move. Don't be stupid. You got dumb people, like people who think moving is stupid. You're not in there getting hit by a professional fighter. So don't be stupid. Moving is a part of it. Clinching is a part of a fight. You're not going to just fight 12 rounds against a killer without any movement, angles, creating. That's boxing. You have to learn how to do that. If you don't get taught how to do that, you won't know how to do it, and your ass will be knocked out, unconscious, sucking your food through a straw. Only stupid people. Don't be stupid and retarded. Boxing is a fucking sport of killers. You got to know how to survive, and then you got to know how to entertain. Then you got to know how to give defense, and then you got to know how to deliver pain. It's a balance. A balance. It's not a street fight in the backyard at your school. It's a balance of understanding skills, technique. And that's the bottom line. This is an actual sport. And going into this holiday with the Fury fight is going to be tremendous. And they just had a promo release. So if you haven't watched the promo, I'll drop it down in the comment box. The link is absolutely tremendous. I think this could be shown at the movies. I mean, literally, this promo is the best promo I've ever seen. In the Riyadh season promotional team, they are doing documentary, award-winning type of stuff because they were award-winning production teams. So you will see it when you watch this thing. But the predictions, the breakdowns, we're going to do the matchups. What benefits would Bivol have going into a rematch? What benefits would Tyson Fury not have going into this rematch? How would he be motivated? The matchup style, and we'll go inside of the ring. So you want to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. But right now we're about to just get it lit. And if you haven't watched that promo for the Tyson Fury versus Usyk fight, it's in the comment boxes. It's crazy. I mean, literally crazy. So thanks for tuning in. Check us out later. Like I said, continue blessings. Be blessed at Godspeed. Coach Bradley signing out. I'll see you soon in the Winner Circle group. Peace.